Welcome back to Code Hive, the place where we make it work, make it right, and make it fast. So in this video, I want to just talk about joins, right? So there are different types of joins, and joins are used everywhere in terms of database. So you will use it in Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. You will use it in Oracle SQL Developer and PL SQL. So this is very important, right? So the first one that I want to discuss is inner joins. So basically, I summarized the information for you guys over here. So basically, inner joins records are matched using one or more common fields in an inner join. So only the records that match the field or the fields you specified as being used for the join are returned by the inner join. So like the second point says that it selects records in which the values in both tables match. Right, and the syntax is select, right? So your column name or the column names, right? So your normal select statement from the table, which is table 1, and then inner join table 2. And where do they inner join? Where table 1 dot column name is equals to table 2 dot column name. So where the column name in both table 1 and table 2 match. That's why the second point says that it selects the records in which the values in both tables match, right? So that is basically some theory based on inner joins. Okay, so now that we've looked at the theory about inner joins, I want us to actually look at an example. So I have two tables. I have the employees table as well as the employee card table. That's the two tables that I'm going to use. So I want to view the employee ID in the employees table. I want to view the employee card ID in the employee cards table, as well as the employee name from the employees table. That's what I want to view, and I want to use an inner join. So how do we do that? Let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to have your select statement, right? So select e dot employee ID, e dot employee name. So if you still haven't watched my video where I talk about aliases, then please do so. Okay, so I want the employee ID, the employee name, as well as the employee card ID, right? From my employees table, which I gave an alias of E, inner join my employee card table, which I gave it an alias of EC. So that's the EC over there and the E over there. Okay, so where are they joining? So on the e dot employee ID, so the employee ID in the employees table is equals to the employee ID in the employee card table, right? Okay, and now I don't want a condition. I'm just going to have a order by clause. So order by, I want to order it by the e dot employee ID descending, right? So I want it to view in descending order. So let's execute this and see. Okay, perfect. So here we have our output, right? So we have the employee ID. It's all listed in descending order. And then we have your employee name as well as your employee card ID. So that's how you use an inner join. Okay, so the second one that we are going to look at is the outer join. So when there is a match in the records from table 1 and table 2, the full outer join keyword is used to return all the records. Okay, so let's look at the syntax. So you selecting the column name. So you selecting, right, the specific columns that you want. From table 1, full outer join table 2, on table 1 dot column name is equals to table 2 dot column name. So where the column name in table 1 is equals to the column name in table 2. So it can be a specific column, but they should be the same in table 1 and table 2. And then you add your condition. So right now it looks a bit complicated, but once we look at a few examples, it will make a lot more sense. So let's jump right to it. Okay, so now that we've looked at the second join that we have, which is the outer join, I want us to look at an example. So I'm still using the same tables. I'm still using the employees table as well as the employee card table, right? So let's get to it. So first things first is your select statement. So I want to display the employee name from the employees table as well as the employee card ID from the employee cards table. Right? So those are the two things that I want to display. But because we're using a full outer join, it might be a little bit different. Our output might be a bit different. Okay, so select e dot employee name, and I want to also view the employee card ID, right? Oops, e dot. Okay, cool. From the employees table, which I gave an alias of E, and then full outer join the employee card table, which I gave an alias of EC, on E dot employee ID is equals to EC dot employee ID. So where are they joining? They're joining where the employee ID in the employees table is equals to the employee ID in the employee cards table. That's where they're joining, right? And like the inner join, I don't want a condition. I just want to order by. So I want to order by, let's say the employee name. Employee name, ascending. Okay. And if we execute that part, then we should get our output. So we have the employee name and the employee card ID. So now what you can see is the fact that by the last one, by Tyler, right, it says null. So the reason why it says null is because regardless of whether the other table matches, the full outer join keyword returns all matching records from both sides. So therefore, if any rows in the employees table or the employee card table do not match any rows in the employees table, those rows will still be listed. Okay, so that's what we see over there. We see that Tyler is existing in the employees table, but the employee ID of Tyler, right, his employee ID is not present in the employee card table, hence why it says null. So that's the whole point of a full outer join. It will print out everything regardless of whether the other tables matches. I hope that makes sense.